Good morning and a very warm welcome back to the Sunday morning 7 a.m. club. I'm Faye Chappell. Last week we talked about starting new chapters, all about legacy and the empowering idea that it's just never too late, right? And that conversation sparked so much incredible energy and excitement. But what happens the day after the inspiration strikes? It's often a mix of excitement and terrifying kind of deer in headlights feeling of, okay, now what? And that's what today is all about. Our theme is the first tiny step. So really how to start your next chapter without the overwhelm. So please get comfortable, acknowledge that the courage it took really to just even dream a new dream, and let's get ready to take that first beautiful tiny step together. How we start our Sunday sets the tone for our entire week. So welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the show dedicated to intentional living and personal growth. I'm Faye Chappell, and on behalf of all of us here at Elevated Living, I invite you to take this time for yourself to find your center and fill up your cup. I'm so glad you're here. Every great journey, every magnificent creation, every life-changing transformation starts in the exact same way, with one single, often unimpressive first step. A marathon starts with the first step. A best-selling novel usually starts with one word typed onto a blank page. And a beautiful garden, well, it starts with a single seed that's pushed through the dirt. And we know that intellectually, right? This is how it works, but we forget it emotionally, right? So when we get a big, exciting idea, like we want to start a new business or learn a new instrument or change our career or move to a new city, a new country, we tend to see the entire massive distance between our reality now and that beautiful vision that's waiting for us. So our brain, in an attempt to really protect us from that sheer scale of it all, often hits that emergency brake, right? We freeze. We get stuck in analysis paralysis. We endlessly plan, we research, but we never actually do it. I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you are too. And I've done it in the past. But the secret to overcoming this is to really ignore that giant staircase and focus only on the very first tiny little step. The goal is not to conquer the mountain in a day. It is simply to put on the hiking shoes. So taking that first tiny step does something really magical, right? It creates momentum. I love that word. Momentum. It sends a powerful signal to your brain and to the universe at large that you are serious. This replaces the fear of the unknown with the data of real life experience, right? It proves to yourself that you can act. So today, we want to find out and take that one imperfect, powerful, tiny little step. So let's make this tangible right now. Let's start with your big dream. Bring to mind one of those new chapters that you've always been dreaming of, the one that excites you and terrifies you in the exact same measure. And I just want you to hold that beautiful vision in your brain. Think about that dream, okay? Now I want you to take your first physical action. So let's play a game. In your journal or in your head, what is the absolute first physical action that you would need to take? And I want you to make it really laughingly small and very, very specific. So if you want to start a podcast, for example, the first step might be open the browser and type in how to start a podcast. Pretty simple, pretty small. If you want to learn to paint, it might be find an art supply store near me into Google Maps, right? Something simple like that. Or if you want to get healthier, it's maybe put your running shoes on and walk to the end of the driveway. That's it. Nothing big, no 5Ks, none of that. Start small, right? These laughingly small steps, they are essential for creating that big dream, right? So I want you to write those down if you have a journal, because it's really important that you remember all this. So again, let's use that journal to officially distill your big dream into your tiny first step, okay? So again, write down that big, exciting, slightly terrifying dream. And at the top of the page, Write down the new chapter that you're dreaming of. So state it with a clear intention. My dream is. It might be my dream is to walk 5K. My dream is to start a new career as a therapist, whatever it is. And then under that, I want you to do prompt 2, which is essentially what I like to call the scary steps. Okay. So just for context, I want you to quickly list 3 to 5 of the big intimidating steps that are involved in your dream. So they might be build a website, save $10,000, write a complete business plan. It's okay for it to feel overwhelming. We just want to acknowledge that those steps exist in creating this brand new dream, right? But the next prompt, we're going to write the not so scary first tiny steps, right? So ignore the big list. Now I want you to look only at that first item, that big dream, right? So what is the absolute smallest, most manageable physical action you can take this week that moves you 1% closer to that first item? Just 1%. The goal is in the action that takes less than 30 minutes. Don't make it more. So I want you to make it smaller if you even need to. This is your first official tiny step, and I want you to write it down in detail. So it might be simple as put your running shoes at the front of the door so that you'll know you want to walk, or make it to the end of the driveway, or whatever it is that you believe you can do. One tiny little step, it might just be Google something simple. Okay? Because, there's a really great quote, and you guys have all heard it. It's by an ancient philosopher, and he said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? Today, we're going to honor and celebrate that single step. That's what makes the difference, right? So we need to take one simple step to move it forward. For people that want to get healthy and you decide you want to exercise, but you're never going to do it at home, it might be Google gyms near me. Not even like a specific one, but just find out what your options are, right? So first of all, let's start with building a sense of steady, calm energy for the first step, okay? So we're going to use just a simple balanced breathing technique. It's just called coherent breathing. It's straightforward. We inhale gently through the nose for a count of 5. We exhale gently through the nose for a count of 5. That's it. There's no box. There's nothing special. The rhythm is even and smooth, like a steady drum beat, right? It really builds focus and calm resolve. So again, inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. This steady rhythm builds really a foundation for steady action. So if you inhale for 5, exhale for 5. You can feel your nervous system calming. Continue to do this while I talk. You can feel yourself calming and it's almost like you're getting ready to go, right? We always tell children if they need to calm down, take a deep breath, right? Anytime we need to go forward and do something, take a deep breath, let it out, and then we're ready to go. So that's the same thing. So this coherent breathing, I want you to remember when we go into doing anything, whether it is writing down that tiny little step we need to take or looking at our big goal. It's a very simple one. Every week we try different breathing techniques. This one's really just what you're doing, except you are paying attention and you're at least taking a 5 instead of quick breaths. Quick breaths are no good. Quick breaths get you actually nervous. It changes the rhythm of your system. If you calmly take at least 4 or 5 breaths in and out, it will make a difference. So building on to that, I want you to settle in and close your eyes. You can do it. You've done it every week. I want you to bring to your mind that very first tiny step that you identified in your journal. I want you to see it clearly in your mind's eye. I want you to visualize yourself taking that little tiny step imperfectly, right? Maybe you do it awkwardly. Maybe you feel a little scared or unsure. Maybe it doesn't even go exactly as you planned, right? See all of it and let it be okay. Because the goal of this visualization is not to see a perfect outcome. The goal is to see yourself starting. Feel the courage in your body as you begin, despite the uncertainty. Your eyes closed. Now imagine you have completed that one tiny imperfect step. And I want you to focus now on the feeling that comes after. A feeling of relief, a feeling of pride, right? Not for doing it perfectly, but for simply doing it. A small, warm glow of momentum that builds up in your chest. This is the feeling we are cultivating, right? The gentle satisfaction of really an imperfect start. This is what builds confidence. This is what makes this step possible. I want you to rest in this feeling of gentle accomplishment for as long as you need to. But I want you to feel that you actually made the move, whatever it is. I bought a rebounder, which is like a mini trampoline. And I bought it because I regularly exercise, but I bought it because I heard that it was very good for your lymphatic drainage system. And I remember I thought, oh, I'm just going to get it and do all these workouts, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized it was a little harder than I thought. And so I almost just stared at it for a week. And then I finally got on and literally just did 2 minutes. 2 minutes is all I did. I didn't even really count the time, but it was about 2 minutes. And when I got off, I was so proud of myself because I had started. It didn't seem like a lot, but I had started. So I took the fear away. So let's get some gentle flow into our bodies at the same time. So I just want you to gently roll your wrists. If you're sitting in a chair, roll your ankles just to wake up those joints that connect us in action, right? So moving your hands, rolling your wrists and your ankles, whatever you feel, and do it as long as you're comfortable. You can always stop this recording and continue when you're finished. If you're sitting on a chair, not on the ground, then gently lift your knees one at a time and just as if you're marching in place. Start slow. If it feels good, pick up the pace a little. You just want to get your energy moving, right? If you're sitting on the floor, just start moving quickly, right? Same thing, the pace of marching, but just move your body, right? And then circle your upper body around from your waist, as if you're a ball just starting to roll. So just rolling, making your whole midsection start becoming alive. You can feel it go the other way. You're just gently awakening your entire body. If you ever feel like in a slump, or you just don't think you can even start that first step, the number one thing you can do is get your body to move with you, encourage it. Basically, you're encouraging it to get ready for your move. So now let's start a little bit of a push and pull with your arms. So you're going to gently push your palms forward as if you're clearing a path, and then pull your elbows in as if you're drawing opportunity towards you. So out, and then bring opportunity in. Pushing out and bringing in. You can feel your entire upper body move. Should feel really, really good. And then if you're standing or if you're sitting, try taking steps. So extending your right leg forward, your left leg back, just gently stretching like you are going ready to take a step. If you're sitting, you can do the same thing. Just position your legs back and forth and allow those stretches. And as you stretch your legs, hold it for 3 breaths. Just 1, 2, 3, and then switch. 1, 2, 3. All we're getting to do is move your body. Now, if you've been with us for a couple of weeks, you'll know one of my favorite is to shake. So shaking is an excellent way to start getting your body moving. So just keep shaking everything. If you're standing, you can shake as you're standing. Great way to move. So again, the body and the mind work together. So if you have the ability to be able to move your body, if you've been blessed without illness and without any issues, then please continue to move your body. If you are not very mobile, but you're still in a chair, great. Then use the arms, twist your body, move your neck, whatever you can do to continually move. So to build on this, I want to share really a brilliant tip from, it's a productivity expert. His name's David Allen. He calls it the 2-minute rule. You've probably heard many different variations of it. I have my own. But this is simple. If a task or action takes less than 2 minutes to complete, then do it immediately instead of putting it on your to-do list, right? This is perfect for our first tiny step. If the action you identified, like if it's sending that one email or making a one phone call or doing that one Google search, will take less than 2 minutes, the challenge is to do it as soon as this session that you're in today is over, okay? So don't let it become another item on your to-do list. Turn your intention into immediate tiny action. So if you decided that you were going to decide to start walking maybe 2K or 1K, and you decided that you want to do that, as soon as you stop this recording, take your shoes, put them at the door. That's your tiny action. Took you less than 2 minutes, do it. Do not write it in your journal and then forget about it, okay? It's a really, really great tool to make you continue to move forward. So today you've done something really incredible. You took a big, beautiful, intimidating dream and you translated it into a small, tangible first step. That's all you need. You don't need any more. You need a first step. Yes, there's tools and tricks to build on it. We'll talk about those in future weeks, but it doesn't matter. You need to take your first step. You replace that overwhelm with action. You built the foundation for true momentum. So here's your first tiny step challenge for the week, because you've already taken it. Take your step. This is the most important one. Before next Sunday, before you join me, I want you to take that first tiny step that you identified in your journal, actually do it, and use that 2-minute rule. So if your step takes less than 2 minutes, you're going to do it as soon as you get off of this recording, okay? So make sure that you do it. If your step takes less than 2 minutes, do it today. I want you to celebrate that start. So when you've taken that step, do not immediately focus on the next one. Don't do that. Take 1 full minute or 10 minutes to really pause and acknowledge that your own courage for simply starting, for simply beginning, right? I want you to make sure you remember that, okay? And let's celebrate all that success that you've done. Put it in a post, write it in the chat, join us in our community. And next Sunday, this is what I'm thinking about, next Sunday, let's tackle the big obstacle. Let's talk about the joy of becoming a beginner again, right? Embracing the imperfection and finding freedom in that learning curve, right? So thank you for your courage and your beautiful dreams. I'm Faye Chappell. Now go ahead and take that next step.
And with that, our time together comes to a close. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Take that feeling of this space with you and let it guide your actions and reactions this week. I'm Faye Chappell. On behalf of everyone here at Elevated Living, I'm wishing you a week of profound peace and clarity. This episode was produced by the City Media.